welcome or welcome back to 4F Beauty. When will I be YouTube famous? I still don't know, but what I do know is that I am slightly off to one side so that I can recline, leaving space here for pictures. This can mean but one thing. It is time for the latest episode of Hell Yeah, or Whoa, 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 no. Alright, if you're new to my channel, Hell Yeah, whoa, no. I was actually inspired by Kimberly Clark because I saw her anti-hauls and thought that's a brilliant idea, but I'd love to talk about stuff that I do want to buy as well as stuff that I don't want to buy. I've since found out it was actually started by a lady called Samantha March. She has a community playlist, which I will try to remember to link below, where other creators on YouTube can put all of their will I buy it, will I not into the playlist. You can get lots of different people's opinions on various different items that are being released. So, sorry, I just need to mute this conversation for a minute because it's going bonkers and I am going to end up getting so distracted. So let me just mute that for a minute. Right, I always start off my Hell Yeah Whoa No's with updates. The first update I've got is, I don't know if you've already watched it, but I did a review on this Disco Queen palette from Exposed Cosmetics, which looks like this. Now, there are only 4 mattes in this palette, and that's those 4 there. And I've just dug my little finger straight into that one. Nice one, Ange. Nice one. Well done. So, I did make a comment that when I put it up on Insta, I did comment that I would have liked to have seen a few more mattes in there, because although I can build a look using all shimmers, and I have done a number of times, I know a lot of people don't like that. They like to have some mattes to build on first, even if it's just one matte they can use as a crease colour. And I made that comment in my film, and when I promoted my video on Instagram with the link, the company commented on it saying, "Thank you so much for your review. It's been great to hear your opinions and we'll definitely take them on board in future." That is bloody good customer service and good customer engagement. It shows that they are remaining teachable, to quote a certain YouTuber who's... No, let's not go there for the minute. And that's awesome. It's always great when particularly indie companies pay attention to reviews and take on board constructive criticism, because you will see that I did actually give that palette the thumbs up, but I said I would like to have seen more mattes in there, because I know that some people would struggle having so many shimmers to the palette. And it's great that they're actually taking on board comments and using that feedback for when they're developing future palettes. So I will definitely keep an eye on them, and because of that, they have gone onto my star list. I'll just pop that this side. That's my star list of companies or brands. Most of them are brands, one of them's a company. Beautylicious obviously is a company that has a lot of brands within it. Companies whose customer service and or quality of products are absolutely top notch, and I have no hesitation whatsoever in recommending them to you. Now, you know you will only get 100% honesty in this channel. Please or offend, you get my honest thoughts. Probably wouldn't make me very popular. Probably means I won't grow as quickly as if I was brown nosing all the bigger companies and saying nice things about everybody all the time. But if you are watching my review trying to decide whether to buy something, I don't want you to spend your money on something that's crap because you've taken my word for it that it's good. Okay? So, Exposed Cosmetics, you have gone onto my star list. Congratulations. Now, unfortunately, I can't say the same about another indie company, which I've also reviewed one of their palettes, and it's this one. This is the Eye Candy Cosmetics Pina Colada palette, which looks like that. And I was so excited when I saw the pictures of this, and I'm like, oh my god, that colour story is absolutely amazing. Can't wait to get that and play with it. So I ordered it. It took a couple of weeks to get to me. It took a couple of weeks before it was shipped. But I didn't think too much of that, because I thought, well, if they're a smaller company and it's just one person running it, if they've had a lot of orders come in, then, you know, perhaps they're finding it difficult to keep up with them all. So I didn't worry too much. Then the palette arrived, and the pigment was absolutely nothing like the palette that I received. And you can see from this picture here, they are still promoting it, even though the pans in that palette appear to be in a different order to the pans in my palette. They've got yellow, orange, can't see, purple, brown, navy, pink, green, can't see. So looking very different to this particular palette. And you can see the pigmentation on those three shimmers. Now, I don't even have an orange shimmer in here. The shimmers are these top three here. But let me show you how wonderful these shimmers actually are. Do you see that depth of pigment? Because I sure as hell don't. So I did my video and I uploaded it and I promoted it on Instagram, and I emailed the company saying, they're on Ticktail, which is a website that hosts a lot of indie brands and puts their orders through for them and handles PayPal and everything. They purport to be a UK company because their Instagram is Eye Candy Cosmetics UK. Yeah. And their Insta page says, a UK based beauty brand passionate about beauty, self-love and positivity. Our PR list is full, do not message for. Oh, that was a little bit strange, a little bit not quite right English, but I thought maybe they just like missed off the end word or something. I emailed this company on the 22nd of August. There's my email. And you can see I was querying whether I'd been sent a faulty palette, asking them to review my film and get back to me with a review to either refunding me or replacing the palette with one that did have the pigmentation that they were advertising. Now, admittedly, that was 3 weeks ago now, and I hadn't chased it up, partly because I thought, well, if it took them 2 weeks to send pallets out, it's probably going to take them longer than that to get to the emails because they're obviously sending pallets out first. And I also had an awful lot going on in my own personal life, which distracted me from chasing it up. However, I saw that post on Instagram last night with the comment, "Oh, look at that pigmentation," from another person on Instagram, and they'd actually tagged it as "Pigments, our Pina Colada palette." I'm like, well, hang on, that's a completely different layout to the Pina Colada palette that I've got. It's got a shimmer on there that I've not got in mine, and no way is the pigmentation anything like that. So I commented, as you can see, thankfully I took a screenshot of it. Did I get a duff palette then, as mine has no pigmentation at all, or little to no pigmentation? They replied, "Hiya, sorry to hear that, you got the same palette definitely." No, I didn't. "Have you tried using it with our eyeshadow base or any base at all?" Clearly you haven't watched my video then, because this not only pulled an Urban Decay eyeshadow primer off, it also pulled concealer off, which is what I normally use as my primer. So I replied back to them, still on their Insta page at this point, so still public for anybody to see. "Yes, I've tried eyeshadow base, concealer base, etc. The mattes were similar to Subculture in that they clung wherever I first applied them and then wouldn't blend out. I tried numerous brushes and techniques. The shimmers had practically no payoff even when applied wet, and they got hard pan after one use. You can see it from the video on my channel. I really think I must have got a faulty one." And you can see from my notifications thing that I've actually got iCandy comment, replied to your comment on iCandy's post. Now, there are 3 comments on there. I'd only seen that one, which was them saying, "Have you tried a base?" So there are obviously 2 more comments on there. But when I went to go and look at it, all of a sudden, my comments had gone. They had deleted my negative comment from their Instagram post. This immediately sent up warning bells, because most companies will happily leave that on there because they will then say, "Really sorry, reviewed your video, yep, looks like you got a faulty one, we'll send you a replacement one out," because that then shows their other clients that they have good customer service. I then get a private inbox message on Instagram from them. I'll put it up here. "Hello." So I said, like, "Hi, good afternoon. Good day. I can't find the link to your review." Did you even check my profile? So I sent them the link to the review and then put, "There you go." Wow, okay. And I said, "I'm always 100% honest with my reviews, and you'll see that I try multiple techniques and brushes. I also tried off camera with different primers, etc., and got the same result." This was the point that I then noticed they deleted my comment on Insta. So I put, "I see you've deleted my comment on your post. Got to be honest, that sets off alarm bells for me." To which they replied, "We are a growing business. I appreciate your honest reviews, as it helps us grow and do better. So far so good," sounding like Exposed Cosmetics. "However, we prefer to handle cases like this privately." Again, why? Why not show that you've got good customer service by saying, "Oh yeah, you got a faulty one, we'll send you a replacement." "In the meanwhile, please accept my sincere apologies. We will review your YouTube video and give you feedback if we would offer a replacement." So I said, "Okay, I look forward to hearing from you," which my phone auto-corrected to lol forward, so I then replied, "Look forward, not lol," autocorrect again. That was, what time was that? That was about 1:30 in the afternoon. No, it was. I messaged them again just before 9 o'clock in the evening saying, have you reviewed my film yet, please? Because the film isn't that long. They didn't reply. Obviously, they didn't reply until the next morning because I don't expect them to reply outside of office hours. But they replied again at about 10:30 the next morning. Yes, I have. Good morning. What is your name and when did you place your order? So I sent them the details and said it shipped mid-August. It took them 9 hours to respond. Hi, unfortunately your order shipped a month ago and it's past our window of exchanges or refunds. At this point we can't offer you an exchange or refund. Please accept my apologies. We hope to serve you better in the future. This really annoyed me because I'm like, well, hang on a minute, I emailed them. So I scrolled back through and found out where my email was so I could get the date of it. And then I messaged again saying, my film regarding the condition of this palette went live on the 22nd of August and I emailed you on the same day regarding this, but to date had no response. Now you're saying it's outside the window, so let's get this straight. You deleted my comment on your Instagram post earlier regarding the substandard palette I'd received. You watched my video, which clearly shows the subpar quality. You never responded to an email that I sent you 3 weeks ago. Now you claim I'm not eligible for a refund. I'm sure you'll understand why I will not be promoting your forthcoming products on my channel and will update my subscribers as to why. I then get, I forwarded the email on to them saying, here is the email you claim to have not responded, and that email address isn't listed on their Instagram profile anywhere. They don't appear to have a Twitter profile. Wish I'd checked this before I ordered from them. But on the Tic-Tac receipt it says contact the firm. So you click that and it comes up with this Gmail address, the eyecandycosmeticslondon@gmail.com. So I forwarded the email to them so that they could see it. Then I discovered they didn't have a Twitter feed because I went onto Twitter and put, when a UK indie brand deletes your comment on Instagram about poor quality products and denies getting an email to avoid refunding replacing it, really gets me annoyed. Avoid Eye Candy Cosmetics, folks. My film shows the issue. I've had a couple of people like it and retweet it. I then got a response on Insta, particularly sarcastic, it has to be said. After I'd commented, come on phone, don't crash on me now. There you go. After I'd commented, I'm sure you'll understand why I'll not be promoting your forthcoming products on my channel and will update my subscribers as to why. Never received any email. I understand completely. Cheers. Could you get any more sarcastic? That is not the way to run a business. So now I'm really annoyed. And I went onto PayPal. Because thankfully, that's where I'd paid for it, or how I'd paid for it. So I opened a case on PayPal saying, ordered a palette which when it arrived had poor pigmentation and was unusable as shades got hard pan after one use. I reviewed it on my channel and emailed the company using the email on their receipt to me, which is different from the one you have listed for them, to request a refund, but heard nothing. I then commented on an Instagram post, but they deleted my comment, private messaged me, then said they hadn't received my email and I was not entitled to a refund or replacement. It gets juicier, folks. A friend of mine, when she found out about this, asked me the name of the company. Did a bit of digging for me. And gave me a little bit more information. They purport to be a UK brand, but I have since found out they are registered in Nigeria and do not have any faith in them refunding me. I put the link to my film and said this shows poor pigmentation and subpar quality of the product. And you have the option of, you can see there, the email address that I've got is obviously the name of the person running the company. It's not, I don't understand why their PayPal isn't as Eye Candy Cosmetics. Anyway, because they'd clearly stated they were not going to refund me, despite the fact I'd emailed them 3 weeks previously, I decided to escalate this, which is where you can say to PayPal, look, I've tried everything I can, we can't come to an agreement, can you look at it and make the decision please? So I escalated it to PayPal and they ask you why you're escalating it. So I put, after communication with the seller, where they deny receiving my email complaining about the quality, it's clear they have no intention of refunding me. My film, and I gave them the link again, clearly shows the poor quality of the product, which they still advertise on Instagram as being super high pigment. I'm therefore requesting PayPal issue me a full refund. I can provide copies of emails and Instagram conversations if required. And you can see from this that my friend sent me that their registered address is in Lagos. So, I would like to apologise to every single one of you for the fact that I have ever mentioned any of their products in my Hell Yeah Whoa Knows. I apologise profusely if you have purchased from them and had similar issues. I advise you to do the same as me and claim through PayPal if you have. I did have a couple of comments on my video saying, whoa, I was about to buy this, then I saw your film and you've saved me some coin, thank you. So I will try, oh, sorry, I've got a lot of back pain today. Oh. I will try and remember and link the film in the description box below so you can see for yourself exactly the problems that I had with the palette. But that's the screenshot for the thumbnail that I used for it, and you can see there when you look close up it looks like a bruise on my eye. I mean, it'd be great if you wanted to do special effects of having been punched in the face, but for anything else, no. So my advice to you is, if you are considering purchasing from Eye Candy Cosmetics, believing them to be a honest UK indie brand, they're not. They are neither honest, they are not fair, and they are most certainly not a UK brand, because they are based in Nigeria. This could explain why the shipping appeared to take 2 weeks, because, as a friend of mine said, they probably shipped it straight away but didn't send you the receipt until 2 weeks later, so that you wouldn't have any clue that it was coming from overseas. Or perhaps they have a UK warehouse here that they send it out from, I don't know. Either way, Eye Candy Cosmetics are officially the latest company to have the dishonour of appearing on my shit list of brands that I will not support and will not promote on my channel. If I have any updates by the next episode of this, I will of course let you know. Moving on. Hope you got a drink and a snack, because this is going to be another long episode. Now, if you've watched my Who Am I intro video on this channel, you will know that my little "When will I be YouTube famous" at the start is a bit of a homage, partly to Bros, a band that I madly fell in love with in the 80s, and still find Matt Goss particularly attractive now, for their When Will I Be Famous song. And also, if ever you've seen me do this with a fan, you know that I watch Peter Mon, and he's always, I'm YouTube famous now, which apparently is sarcasm. So I thought I would combine the two of a funny drama channel with a comment that he makes at the start of all of his, and a homage to one of my favourite bands. And I was convinced for years in my teenage life that I was going to become Matt Goss's wife. Yeah, it didn't happen. I'm quite pleased about that because I've got a fantastic husband. Right, the reason I preambled with that is because I saw this on Instagram. Matt Goss, such a beautiful day today, creating my new fragrance. Now, I don't know, doesn't he look suave in that hat? I wish those sort of hats had come back into fashion. It's so much sexier seeing a man wear a hat like that than a baseball cap or a beanie. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. My husband wears hats like that and Stetsons, which could be a reason why I like them so much. You can see that. I don't know whether he's doing a fragrance for gentlemen or if it's for the ladies. As I hear more, I will of course update you. This is a little bit of an older one. This is the Jouer Rose Gold launch. Now, I'd already mentioned Jouer, but I wanted to make a point of this. Jeffrey tweeted this out, saying if you want to support amazing indie brands, check out Jouer. And if you use code Jeffrey at the checkout, you get 15% off your order, and all of the proceeds are going to one of his favourite charities. Now, as far as I know, Jouer is the only company that Jeffrey has got a code with. Because as he says, I don't need affiliate codes, I've got my own business, I make plenty of money from selling that. And he's got a distribution warehouse. If you watch the Shane Dawson thing with him, you can see he's got a lot of different businesses going on. The man's got his fingers in a lot of pies. So he doesn't need affiliate codes to make his 10% or 20% or whatever. But he was offered this code from Jouer. So to help an independent brand that he supports get more recognition, because let's face it, how many followers has Jeffrey got? 10 million, is it now? He's tweeting this out, so it's raising the profile of their new launch. You're saving yourself 15%, but instead of that affiliation code going into somebody's back pocket, let's not get started on the drama world right now. It goes to charity, which, knowing Jeffrey, will be, I know he did with his equality bundle, the proceeds that he made from selling that went to the Los Angeles LGBT Centre. So I'd imagine it's going to be something similar to that, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you were looking to buy the Jouer one, there's 15% off, and that 15% off is going to charity, which is bloody awesome. That's what I say. I would ban black and white sneak peeks. Just why? Just show us the damn shades. Even Jeffrey's started doing it now. Oosa, oosa, oosa. You do get occasional rants in these. You've probably realised that by now. Hay fever. This is a sneak peek, I assume, of an eyeshadow palette, which is coming out, I believe, in November. 18 shades, so it's going to be same sort of size as Blood Sugar or Thirsty. I'm really hoping to see some mustards and some olive greens and some khakis and, you know, some proper burnished, bronzy, coppery shades. That would make me very happy. He has got a very nice green in the androgyny palette. I'll just, ow, my back. Shouldn't lean forward like that. You can see he's got military in this one, which is lush, but I wouldn't mind a few more. Just to, I'm really into my greens at the moment, so I did run it through a photo colorization, but it always brings it up as, I mean, if it is those colours, I'll be happy because you've got an olive green, a rusty brown, a gold, and like a coppery rose gold. So if it is those colours, I'm going to be happy. But the fact that it's made Jeffrey's fingers bright yellow makes me think, perhaps it's not those colours. Delancey, again, it's I believe it's an independent brand, and it's cheaper in the UK just to look for them on Amazon, I have found. Has got this Maelstrom palette out. I am super tempted by that. It does have a lot of shades in common with Blood Sugar, but I don't always want to travel with that. That's a bloody expensive palette, and I don't want to risk it getting damaged or broken or stolen, oh, goodness knows what else. So I might pick that up to try. Let me know if you want me to pick that palette up to review on the channel. That's Maybe Baby. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we get Maybe Babies as well as Hell Yeahs and Woe Knows. Menagerie Cosmetics, which, as you know, is what makeup monsters are now becoming, put this up saying, "Welcome to Menagerie Cosmetics. We're extremely excited to share with you our love for makeup and wildlife through our brand. All our products are formulated and handcrafted to the highest of quality in our local facility in Newman Lake, Washington. 10% of every sale will be donated to the Animal Welfare Institute, an amazing charity that focuses 90% of its donations to fighting animal testing and protecting wildlife globally. All our products are 100% vegan, cruelty-free, and made in the USA." So there's a good chance I'm going to be picking up some stuff from Menagerie when it launches. It very much depends on how much it's going to cost to get it over here. I'm hoping maybe Cult Beauty or Beauty Bay would pick up this brand and start selling it. That would be useful. This is the first lipstick shade they've actually shown us. This is Neurothemis, which is a deepened burgundy coming this fall. And they've also shown this, which I'm guessing is going to be, it says on the top, soft focus setting powder. And I don't know whether it's just reflecting the gold writing from the lipstick beside it or whether it's quite a deep shade, but I'll be interested to see exactly what they're launching. So that's a Maybe Baby again. Anastasia Beverly Hills is coming out with glitters and glitter adhesive. Okay. Haven't seen glitter adhesive like that before. It's usually like a squeeze tube. I mean, this is actually a peel off glitter glue from the Gypsy Shrine. But like the NYX one is the same one, which I've got in the post coming to me now. The NYX one is the same. It's like a squeeze tube. So it's the first time I've seen one that looks like a lipstick, or no, not a lipstick, a nail varnish or a nail glue. So be interesting to see what that's like. Um, they've promoted their new Sultry palette, which is going to be their Christmas one. It's the same format, i.e., the 2 rows of 7 and a brush, that Modern Renaissance, Prism, Subculture, Soft Clam, and Norvina are. But this one doesn't have that soft velour packaging, which I know a lot of people don't like because they find it difficult to keep them clean. I have to be honest, when I looked at that, if you cover up that pinky orangey red called Bloom, you've got a cool tone neutrals palette, which is pretty much the same as Norvina if you cover the purples up. Launch is the 25th of September on their UK and US website, online with US retailers, 9th of October, in stores at all US retailers, 12th of October. $42, same as usual. I just... It's just why? Look, here's an image of all of the ABH palettes with their pops of colour taken out. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, sorry, Anastasia. I mean, you're more than welcome to send it to me as PR and see if you can change my mind. But I'm not. I don't wear a lot of neutrals. I mean, this to me is an everyday look. You know, pink, purple, blue, shimmer, smoke, lashes, line. This is an everyday look. This to me is neutral. Anyway, moving on. Still with Anastasia, these are the glitters that she's going to be bringing out. The teal and the purple. Those of you who've watched any of my things will know full well teal and purple are my babies right now, because I got married in a purple wedding dress and my bridesmaids were in teal, so those two particular colours do actually... I have a little soft spot for them. And you can see there that they look to have quite dense glitter as well. There's not too much sort of like packer glitter where it's just like the clear stuff. There looks to be a good amount of pigment in those. The glitter adhesive is $18. 5.4 grams of glitter in each jar, and they'll be $15 each. I believe the launch dates for those are the same as the Sultry palette, so their website 25th of September, US retailers 9th of October, all stores of US retailers 12th of October. So yeah, that's a maybe, baby. For the glitters, not so much the glue, because I'm not paying $18 for a pot of glue. Have a word with yourself. But yeah, so that's a maybe. Colourpop have collabed with Disney, and I know I shouldn't like this, but I really do. You can see the 6 Super Shock shadows. Have to be careful how you say that. And if I pull this drawer out here, you can see I'm quite a fan of their Super Shock shadows. Super Shock shadows. And I've even got 2 of the highlighters in that formula. I like the look of the green one. I've got quite a few purples. I'm actually not called by that one, and I quite like the look of the pink one as well. They have the palette called It's a Princess Thing. You see the swatches there. probably only about half of that palette would actually really work on people with deeper skin tones, because some of those lighter shades are looking quite ashy, and bearing in mind swatches are built up, they're not blended out. It's a very, very pretty palette. It's a very girly palette. It is very Disney. It'd be an ideal palette for someone just getting into makeup, be them girl or boy, because you've got, depending on their skin tone, obviously, probably up to, I don't know, like a medium deep maybe. I think beyond that you're not going to be able to use all of it, and there's better palettes you can choose. But there's a nice mix there. Admittedly, if you cover up the purples and the pinks, it's a pretty neutral palette, but the prices on this are going to be much more acceptable than the Anastasia ones. That's the outside of the PR box with all the different princesses on it. They've also got a lipstick for each of the princesses. They got Tina, Ariel, Belle, Jasmine, Snow White, and Cinderella. Have to admit, Belle is most definitely calling my name, as is Ariel. And there's a little bit of me being drawn to Snow White, but if I'm wearing a lipstick that bright, I normally go for a liquid lipstick, so I know it's not going to be looking like Courtney Love mid-90s after 5 minutes. They've also got 3 glosses called Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Who doesn't want glosses called Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo? How cute is that? Actually, the glosses are all quite pretty as well. I'm super tempted by those. I'm really getting into glosses just lately, as you can tell from today. But there we go. There's the Super Shock Shadows. Oh, talk about trip over your tongue. In Hey Ho, So This Is Love, Almost There, Be Our Guest, Under the Sea, and A Whole New World. Yeah, that was flat, never mind. I should have gone with Everything's Better Down Where It's Wetter Under the Sea. That's more me. That's definitely more me. And in fact, that is the green one that I like, so that is definitely me. That's going to be a hell yeah on that green one. I need that in my life. That's just so beautiful. They've also got a couple of packs. They've got the PR collection, which is where you can buy what they send out to the influencers. That's $120. But I believe that's only got 4 of the Super Shock shadows. I don't know which 2 are missing from it, but apparently there's only 4 of them in there. Or you can buy the whole lot without the box for $110. Do I have prices for the individuals? Let me have a look. Yes, I do. It's a Princess Thing palette, $20, much better than Anastasia's 42, eh? The Luxe lipsticks, I've got 2 Luxe lipsticks. I really like the formula for those. They are $7 each. The Super Shock shadows are $5 each, or they're going to be available as a bundle, but I haven't got the bundle price. It doesn't give me a price for the ultra glossy lips, but it looks like you're going to have to buy that as a bundle. I can't. Oh, and there's 2 cheek products as well. A Smile and a Song and Part of Your World. So yeah, that's some of those are whoa whoa whoa. No. Some of those are maybe baby. And some of those are hell yeah. Right, continuing with Colourpop, I really like the look of their fall palette. This is actually out now. I meant to talk about this last week, but where I missed an episode, I'm going to talk about it this week instead. That actually went live on the 13th, which was last Friday, and it's now, what day is it? Thursday, so a week ago they launched. And the palette's called Good Sport, which is lush. They've also got, it's weird because they've got 5 supernovas, which are the liquid eyeshadows, 6 luxe lippies, and a highlighter palette, but apparently the highlighter consistency is the same as the Super Shock Cheek products. But I know with these, if you don't keep them, because these actually come in a screw top lid, because they are cream to powder. As you can see, she said trying to get it so you can actually see. There we go. Just about. And if you don't keep that lid on there tightly, they do dry up and they do crack and become unusable. So unless that palette has got super strong magnets all around the side to stop any air getting in, I'll be interested to see how that works. But I do love the look of that full palette. I am going to hold fire and just see what Jeffrey's new palette's like, because if he's got colours like that in there, I'll buy Jeffrey's one and then I won't need this one. If Jeffrey's don't have colours like that, then that's a hell yeah for me. So I'm proper into my sort of grungy greens and yellows, and yeah, she said with a purple smoky eye. Kylie has done a collab with her best mate Jordan, and for the first time ever, the eyeshadow palette actually looks suitable for people with a deeper skin tone. Thanks Jordan, well done. This drops 21st of September. Eyeshadow palettes, lipsticks, highlighter palette and glosses. There are the swatches of the palette, and you can see that pretty much all of those colours, I mean the 2 lightest ones are Soulmate and True Love, but they don't look as if they'd go ashy when you blend them out. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, please let me know in the comments below. If you buy this and they do go ashy, then do let me know, and I'll pin the comments so that other people can see. But this is the first Kylie palette that I've really been interested in, which is annoying because Kylie's way out of my price range, and I refuse to buy from someone who was on Forbes' rich list as a billionaire but still doesn't offer a returns policy. Just no, I don't think so. Thank you so much. She's also released singles. Now, these are apparently her favourite shades from all of her previous palettes as singles. That's a great idea, because if you've bought one of her previous palettes and that's one of your favourite shades as well, and you've panned it, you can now just buy the individual shade. Or if you're like, well, I only really like it for that pop of colour, you can just buy the pop of colour. She's got 28 shades at $7 each, and she's also selling that large magnetic palette. The thing that confused me: single eyeshadow, $7. Bundle of 9 shades, $63. Aren't you meant to save money on a bundle price? Because I'm pretty sure when I went to school, admittedly that's a long time ago now, But I'm pretty sure 7 nines are 63. Yes, 7 nines are 60. The palette is $24. All the eyeshadows in the palette are $220. So, again, you're not actually saving anything. 220 is if you were going to buy all of them individually, one a week, and then the palette separately. Girl, really? The only thing I do find weird is, now obviously she's going to be releasing, she's going to do this again. If these sell well, which they're bound to, she's going to do more of these. There's a list. I'll leave this one up as long as I can with the names actually on the colours, just in case you were interested and wanted to pick some up. The thing is, were you daft enough to buy all of those and the palette? When she then releases more, you're going to have to buy another palette. Why didn't she leave space in there for you to put other ones in? I don't get that. It doesn't make sense. My best advice to you is, if there is a colour there that you definitely want and you can't find it on either Colourpop, Anastasia, NYX, Makeup Geek or Revolution, or anybody else that sells individual pans, then if you want the Kylie palette, buy the magnetic palette. Fair enough, $24, it's not too bad I suppose for a branded palette. Buy the shades that you want of Kylie's and then fill the rest up with NYX, Makeup Geek, Colourpop. You will save yourself a fortune that way. There's swatches of all of the different shades as well. Gotta be honest, the only ones there that are actually calling me are Turning Violet. I'm pretty sure I've got a Super Shock shadow that shade. Blizzard, I know I've got that in a Revolution palette. Love Potion, which I've got in a lot of palettes, including 2 of Jeffree Star ones. I've got hot pinks like that. And Island Girl, which I've got in my Masquerade palette from dubious. So, whoa, 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 whoa. No. However, Kylie is going to be going into Ulta stores. Now, in one respect, that's bloody awesome because it means you can actually swatch stuff and look at it before you buy it. And I assume that the old Ulta return policy would apply as well. But don't quote me on that. Rude Cosmetics are launching 13 shades of their new Star Power liquid eyeshadows. They look bloody amazing. I am properly liking those. Those bottom 4 shades, the yellow, the orange, the green and the purple. Oh, hello. Kind of think I need those. But obviously that does very much depend on price and how much the shipping's going to cost to get it to me in the UK. You're so lucky in America that all these brands are there and you get cheaper shipping. So that's a maybe, baby, verging on a hell yeah. Blush Tribe. Now I've got a lot of their I say a lot. I've got 3 of their products so far. I've got the Hasina 2 palette, and I have 2 of their pigments. I've got Neelam, which is the purple to green, and I've got Jasmine that I haven't used yet, so it's still shot, but this is like a greeny goldy sort of shade. So we've established that Blush Tribe Actually, if you look there, they were on my star list. So, they are bringing out a brush set and an adhesive for their pigments. That's a fantastic idea. I mean, I've at the moment just been using, been using this pigment boost from Obsession when I use the pigments, or a glitter glue, basically. But it's a great idea that they're now going to be selling that as well, because it means you can get it all in the one. I'm imagining they're going to do bundle prices as well for so many titanium dusts, which is what they call their pigments, and a tube of that thrown in free or half price or whatever. But we'll wait to see on that one. The brushes are actually up. I spotted them last night, so I screenshotted them at stupid o'clock in the morning. Very, very pretty. You can see the set there. It's got an eye crease brush, a large shader brush, an eyeshadow brush, a blush or powder brush, angled flat foundation brush, large fan face brush, angled shader brush, which could also be used for liner or brows, and a tapered crease brush. They have got, I like the shape of the handles because they kind of go in and then back out again. And I always hold, when I'm holding a brush, I hold it at the end to put as least pressure as possible on my eyes. So that makes sense because that's the bulgy bit at the end, but then it comes down thinner in the middle so you can still see what you're doing. Beautiful colours. They'll store really easily in your storage pot or a mug. And I like the duotone bristles as well. So yay for them. That is now live on the site. I believe it's about 20 quid, I think. For some reason I didn't actually screenshot the price. That's really stupid of me. It was stupid o'clock in the morning. So if it is different from 20 quid, I'll annotate it on screen somewhere. We've now got a shot of all of the shades that are going to be in the Fall Fusion palette, which I believe is coming out Saturday. I need to set an alarm to remind myself to go online and buy that because that's limited edition. I don't always buy limited edition stuff because, of course, there is the issue that when I'm using it on my channel, you then may or may not be able to get it. But I know Salma has actually said that she's bringing it out for fall, and initially I think there's only 400 units that are going to be made. But if it proves popular and sells quickly, she may bring it back again next fall and make it a seasonal item. And of course, two of the shades are named after two of the beauty channels I follow, Angelica and Paulina, and that's the front door. Hold on. As I was saying, postman's delivered more makeup. Yay! Two of the channels that I follow, Angelica and Paulina, are they have shades named after them in this palette, which I think is a lovely gesture from Salma that runs Blush Tribe. There's some swatches. I need that palette. It's not a want, it's a need. Hell yeah! Just gotta hope I can get on there and get it before it sells out. Right, Too Faced. I've now got some swatches of their holiday palette, the gingerbread palette, and oh my goodness, I like that. I know there are a lot, again, there's a lot of neutrals in there, but there's just something about that particular colour combination which is calling to me. Apparently it smells like gingerbread. They've brought back last year's long wear matte lipstick in Gingerbread Man, and they've now done another one this year, melted matte lipstick in Gingerbread Girl. So I think it's out already. I think, because I'm sure that Paige, Seeking Alexandria, I'm sure I saw this morning that she's got a review of it on her channel, so I need to go and watch that and see whether the pigments are as good as they look. They've also got their second round of the Clover. I don't know if you remember the Clover tin palette that they did. All very pastels. Not my style, far too pale for me, to be quite honest. I tend to go for palettes that are aimed at deeper skin tones because they have such fabulous pigment, and you can get looks like this. Love it. But they've got the second round of the Clover collection. They've got that tiny wee little eyeshadow palette, ideal for travelling, and it's shaped like a dog's head. So cute. They've got a stuffed Clover. Oh dear. And Clover 2 liquefied matte longwear lipstick, which is a slightly pinker version of the original Clover one they had out last year. The stuffed Clover, don't know why that makes me giggle the way it does, is $24. The eyeshadow palette is $28, and the lipstick is $21. So, yay. What else does it say here? I'm pretty sure they make a huge donation to a charity, an animal charity in America, from the proceeds of those. So, and again, you know, if you've got a teenager who loves dogs and is just getting into makeup, not for me. That's a whoa, 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 whoa. No. The lipstick's a nice colour, but I've already got a lot of lipsticks that colour, and I was meant to be on a low buy this year and failed dismally, so I'm going to attempt to do a low buy next year. Nabla Cosmetics, their fall collection, they've called it the Matte Collection. I really like the look of that. 12 matte single eyeshadows and a magnetic palette with feathers, a rose gold print. Launching September 20th, and there's the swatches as you can see on all three skin tones there. I think the lightest three may go a bit ashy when they're blended out, certainly the lightest two will on that deeper skin tone, but the rest of them I think would work pretty well, to be honest. And there is definitely something about that is calling me. I love that particular colour combination. I'm pretty sure I've already got all of those colours in various other palettes, but seeing them all together like that, it's this, ooh. Maybe, baby, I need to win the lottery. I'll get Sugar Daddy. I'll get on some damn PR lists. I know I'm way too small for PR, I'm just joking. Pretties for Your Face have got the Sanderson Sisters eyeshadow palette. I just love this. The fact that Hocus Pocus 2 is coming out, and I've waited nearly 30 years for that to come out after the first one. I mean, hello! Talk about keep a girl waiting. I absolutely adore those. There's some swatches. Again, I've probably got all of those in other palettes, but seeing them together like that in the one palette really makes me want it. Problem is, though, they're an American indie brand. That means that the shipping to me is going to be astronomical, sadly. So, my heart says, hell yeah. My wallet says, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, 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 no. Right. L'Oreal put this out saying, are you feeling berry or are you feeling watermelon? Highlighting drops and blush. Now, long-term viewers will know that their Life's a Peach blush has been one of my favourites, as you can see from how much of the imprint has worn away, but it still smells like a ripe peach, like you just want to sink your teeth into it. Just really good formula as well, pretty colour. And these look to be certainly the same pans. I'm guessing it's the same formula. I like the look of both of those. I was hoping they would release both because obviously the berry one would look fantastic on people with deeper skin tones. And the fact they've actually got them there, I think they are going to release both colours, but I don't think they're going to release them at the same time. They're missing a real trick though. And they said the L'Oreal winner has been announced, watermelon, and in a month's time they'll get followers to pick the name. So that's a maybe, baby, because I have got blushes that colour, and you don't go through blushes as much as you used to. It's not the 80s anymore. We don't pile it on like, well, some people still pile it on like war paint, but most of us don't. I still have my days when I go a little bit blush heavy, I will admit, but I'm more of a highlight girl now, as you can tell. Right, Dubious Place spoke a while ago about the fact they're bringing out foundations to go from the very, very light and pale through to the very, very deep. Being a black-owned makeup brand, I would imagine they are going to get the undertones absolutely spot on, particularly for the deeper shades. And they had this up on their Insta stories, name our foundation collection, but if you look really closely, you can see some lettering. So it looks like they've already named it, but they're obviously trying to get input from people. My suggestion? Juvia's Face. Just throwing it out there to the gods, you know. Who knows? But yeah, so that's coming soon. I don't have any details about when. Just says fall 2018, so that's September, October, November. So it could be any time in the next couple of months, really. I'm hoping it's going to be a dewy finish, but if they've used it on the model in that foundation, it looks like either a matte or a satin matte. But yeah, I'll be interested to see when that comes out, depending on price, etc., whether or not to pick one of those up. So that's a maybe, baby. Now, talking of Juvia's Place, they had, and I say had for a reason, a UK website, because I signed up to it, and it was around about the time they were releasing the Afrique collection, because that was launched in the US site, but it wasn't on the UK site, but it said sign up for updates so you know as soon as Afrique comes to the UK. And because I was particularly enamoured with a couple of the blushes and wanted to pick those up, I signed up and I thought, do you know what, that was a couple of months ago now, I've not heard anything. Popped onto the site to see this. Dubious Place UK is opening soon. You had already opened. Where have you gone? Why have you deserted us? Do not forsake me, oh my darling. Come back. Please come back. Label UK have got this palette out. It's nice, but the black feels a little bit incongruous to me. But it is only a £15 palette, so that's a really good price. I personally would have gone either for a really dark blue or a really dark green instead of that black. I think that's just a little bit too harsh against all those bright colours, but that's just me personally. There are the swatches. As you can see, the black really sort of hits you in the face, that one. Mind you, so does that yellow. That yellow looks fabulous. One of the things that arrived in the post is actually another one of their palettes, which was half price. So keep an eye out, and you'll probably see a tutorial with that in the next few weeks on my channel. There's swatches without the black, and can you see what I mean? That feels a lot more. It flows better. The black kind of disturbs it a bit, really. But yeah, that's really pretty. It's called the Colour Splurge palette. So that's, for me, it's a whoa, 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 no, because I've pretty much got all those. I mean, I've got the majority of those colours just in the the Slush palette from September Rose. So yeah, trying to be good and not want to buy every blooming thing. Right, Urban Decay have now confirmed that the Naked Cherry palette is indeed real. It wasn't a mock-up, it wasn't a bit of CGI or fakes, it is a genuine product. There we can see the swatches of it, and I've got to be honest, since I've seen the inside and the swatches, I don't like it as much as I did. They've done the same as they always do, and the first half of that palette, when you get not so much the white, the first one, but the next 1, 2, 3, 4, the next 5 shades on your eyes are not going to look that different by the time you blend them out. And certainly the first half of that palette is going to go ashy as hell on black skin tones. So yeah, I'm less enamoured by it than I was. Packaging's pretty though. But apparently it's part of a cherry collection. Included in it are 3 lipsticks, 2 eye pencils, and an all-nighter setting spray. Cherry scented. The setting spray you might have got me on. I kinda like the idea of that, and I like my ones that smell good. I've got a cucumber one, and I had the Max Fix Plus in coconut. I've ordered the Gerard Slay All Day in jasmine. So yeah, I like nice smelling setting sprays, and cherry just sounds delightful. I seem to have morphed into a 1950s housewife. Delightful, darling. These are the 3 bullet lipsticks. That, I assume, is the all-nighter setting spray with the cherry on the outside of it. And that is the 2 eye pencils. There also appears to be a face palette with, I don't know if you could actually call that a bronzer, it looks more like highlight, blush, and maybe a matte highlighting powder or a lighter If that's a contour, it's for light skin toned, but that blush is going to be way too dark. If that's a highlight, that white one is not going to work on dark skins, but that blush is going to look fabulous. Confused. Moving on. A Unique Beauty, spelt EUNIQUE, have got what they call odd eyeshadows collection. Handmade, and I've got to admit, Smurf is proper calling to me. That is beautiful. Now they also have this 7 Deadly Sins palette coming soon. What sin did you commit? I know I said I've got enough rainbow palettes, but oh, that one calls to me. I don't know whether it's because it's in a book format like the Storybook Cosmetics, Witchcraft and Wizardry that I've got over here. There's the swatches of the palette. Oh, Sloth and Pride look pretty. Sloth and Pride. A prideful sloth. Would sloths be prideful? Surely that would take energy, which would mean that would be most unsloth-like. Perhaps they're proud of their slothiness. Okay, my mind just wandered off into a world of its own. They also have a Vestibule, Limbo, Geryon, Malborg, and the Pit, which I'm guessing are from Dante's Inferno, of the levels as you head down into hell. Haven't read Dante's Inferno for a number of years though, so I could be wrong with that one. I really like the look of that. I like the look of Envy as well, which is, it's like a very, very deep blackened teal. Ooh. And that's $24.99, €32 or $28. I so like the look of that. That's what the spine looks like, so it is like a book format. And they are based in London. Handmade cosmetics, cruelty-free and vegan, worldwide delivery. So there you go. You can get this in America if you like, and you can pay shipping fees for once, rather than us having to buy shipping fees whenever we buy something from America. But yeah, that's a maybe, baby. That's a if I have a spare 25 knocking around at some point, I may just have to pick that up. Kevin Aucoin, or Aucoin, however you wish to pronounce it, has brought this out. This is a sneak peek of his holiday palette. Gotta say, it reminds me a lot of the Nabla one, and it's probably going to be a lot more expensive than the Nabla one. If I think on, I will try and remember to do a collage of the two so you can see the Nabla one with the Kevin Aucoin. So, Right, Makeup Geek. They put this up showing the upcoming Pumpkin Spice eyeshadow palette introduces 2 new exclusive eyeshadows, a soft matte peach and a bright shimmery coral to elevate any look. And I saw that and went, ooh. Then I saw the palette and went, oh. I hadn't twigged the Pumpkin Spice palette. Those were the only 2 new shades. So, if you're a fan of Makeup Geek, you've probably got those other shades, or the majority of those other shades already. There's some swatches. Dreamsicle and Jack-o'-lantern, which are a matte and a shimmer respectively, are the two new shades, and they're partnered with 7 of Makeup Geek's most loved full coloured. So you've got Buffed, Early Bird, Roulette, Dreamsicle, Untamed, Cocoa Bear, Jack-o'-lantern, Cherry Cola, and a Curtain Call. So in terms of buying the palette, no. If Jack-o'-lantern and Dreamsicle are available as singles, maybe, baby, verging on a hell yeah. I wish Makeup Geek would bring out something new, something we've not seen before. Don't give us a £9 palette filled with browns and tans and buffs that we've already got. Give us something different, like, Blush Tribe Hasina 2 is blue, green, and purple. There's not a brown, there's not a cream, there's not an orange in there. And that's stunning. That is by far top 3 of my palettes that I've got at the moment, including my Jeffree Star ones. That one falls top 3. Makeup Geek do fantastic quality. I've got some of their singles. I got the Manny collab they did. So I know they do really good quality eyeshadows. I just wish they would have... I wish they'd be a bit braver. Because obviously they know that it's going to sell because most people love neutrals. But if you're trying to expand and grow your customer base, then your current customers, if they're into neutrals, will no doubt have bought these as singles from you. So they're not going to then buy a £9 palette if they've already got the other 7. If you're looking to bring in, I was going to say younger audience, although I'm 44, so I don't exactly class as young, but if you're trying to bring in a new audience, you need to be more vibrant, more experimental with the shades you do. Even if you sell a palette and then say, here's 20 new shades we're doing, you pick your favourite 9 for the palette and do like a set price for that bundle, because you can send the palette out with the 9 individually packed shades for the same price as you would a collated palette. But people will have the ability then to choose the brighter colours, and you can then see whether, because you can say to them, you can make yourself this £9 palette either out of these 20 new shades or shades that we already have. Sorry, living hay fever. Husband cut the grass yesterday and it's windy today, so it's obviously blowing everything around. Yeah, you can say to them, you can either call from our current stock or from these 20 new ones, and you can then see which shade your audience are going for, and you've got more of a chance then of pulling in a younger audience and increasing your customer base, which, let's face it, everybody wants that. moving on. Strobe Cosmetics that did the Creepy Cute palette, which although it's a pastel palette, I still want that palette, are releasing the Divinity palette, which looks like that. The pre-order went live, I think, earlier this week. That's a close-up of the shades, and I've got to be honest, I really like that. That green, that mustard, the deep coral, the purple, that beautiful deep chocolate brown. I'm already envisioning looks that I want to do with this palette, which is really frustrating because it's $35 plus shipping to here. So unless I manage to get on the PR list or the fairy godmother grants me one, sadly I'm not going to be able to have a play with that. If I had the money available though, that would be a hell yeah. Igneous Cosmetics, which are a Canadian indie company, have brought out these two palettes for fall, launching September 21st. You can buy them both for $55 Canadian or about 42 US dollars, or individually for $30 Canadian, 23 US dollars, which I think at the moment is about 18-ish quid. I am very much called by that green palette. That's shouting my name very loudly, even though I think I've got about 4 of those shades in individuals over there anyway. But it's just reminding me I need to go and play with my individual shadows more. They have an Etsy shop because I made a point of going on and checking, and the shipping to the UK is only £6, so that is, ooh, that's now gone to a maybe, baby. Ooh, ooh. Oh no, sorry, the shipping is £7, not £6, £7.29. Ready to ship in 3 to 7 business days from Toronto, Canada. Ships worldwide. So, cruelty-free, handmade, dye, paraben and talc-free, natural ingredients, vegan options. So not all of them are vegan, but some of them are. So there we go. It's verging from a maybe baby very much towards a hell yeah, which is quite, I'm naughty. Okay, moving on. Oh, look at those swatches though. Oh, actually look at the purple ones. Oh, maybe I should buy the purple one instead. Ooh. Stop it. Moving on. Wet n Wild's Halloween collection. You can see I've now got some swatches and bits and bobs for it. Colour Icon Shade Shifting Zombie Blush, $6. Mega Glow Highlighting Powders in Caught in Your Web, Not Your Basic Witch and Moonlight Gleam, which there. Not Your Basic Witch is the gunmetal grey one, very similar to Jeffrey's Onyx Ice, which I have got. Moonlight Gleams is the gold with what looks like a shift of lilac in it, and Caught in Your Web is the pinky one at the top. That's the Zombie Blush, the shade Shifting Zombie Blush. Reminds me very much of the MAC pigment, the sort of green to brown sort of MAC pigment. So that would be really pretty actually as an individual eyeshadow rather than a blush. They've also got Megalast Liquid Catsuit Metallic Lipsticks for $4 each. Which I don't appear to have pictures of as yet, apologies. They've got eyeliners, nail polishes, paint palette, and crayons. Those are actually out now, September the 13th. So if you're lucky enough to have that, because Beauty Bay still haven't bloody got it despite requests. And then you can, and there is a comparison there between Unicorn Glow versus Moonstone Mystique, which is the new one. So you can see one is way more pastel and the other one is a lot deeper. So if you're deeper skin tones, you now have an option, which is just great. I love that they're doing that. Right, Becca are producing this breast care awareness highlighter, $38. The thing is, they've chosen their most popular selling shade, which is opal. Now I've got a little mini opal here, as you can see, which if I swatch on the back of my hand, you can see I have to go very, very lightly with that because it is slightly too dark for my skin tone. I have actually used this as a shimmery bronzer, believe it or not. But the thing is, if it's one of your most popular shades, it's really difficult to pan a highlighter. I've only done it once, and that was because it was the only highlighter I had. If you wanted to do this for breast cancer awareness, I get that you've chosen your most popular shade, so it's most likely to be purchased. But that means a lot of people have already got it. Why didn't you do it like you did with the chasing ones you did, where it was like opal flashes green or whatever? Why didn't you add a pink shift to this? Or use a pinker highlight, because you've got the amethyst one, which is lilac. Why didn't you do a pink one? It's breast cancer awareness. Everybody knows that's pink. Why are you releasing a bronzy orange highlight? But there you go. That's not on. If you buy an ordinary opal, it has to be in that breast cancer with the ribbon imprint and pink on the outside. They also have gold lava, 24 karat gold with shimmering light pink pearl. That's $38. So same price, limited edition. That to me looks very much like Fenty's Trophy Wife or Jeffrey's Liberace from his 24 karat palette. Again, I mean, they've got swatches there. Personally, I don't think it works on the lightest skin tone, because when she turns face on like that, you're going to see the dark swatch there. It's only looking bright because she's actually turned around and the light's actually hit it. For medium to deep skin tones, though, that would look awesome. Obviously, lighter skin tones can use it as an inner corner highlight or an all over lid shadow. But $38, bit expensive, really, folks. They also have. See, why didn't they choose this sort of colour for the breast cancer one? This is a collaboration they've done with, I believe, is she German? Yeah, she's based in Berlin. Hattis Schmidt. She looks to be more of a fashion blogger than just makeup. But yeah, so they've got this. This looks beautiful for fair to light skin tones. Yeah, exactly. Again, so you're eliminating, I don't know. It's very similar to the previous one they had with the Eiffel Tower one that they did with Sanana. That was a pinky gold though, and this looks more like a pinky pearl or a pinky silver. So this looks a bit of a cooler pink than the previous one, but again, once it's on your cheeks, you're not really going to see that much of a difference. That's coming soon. I haven't got a date for that yet, I'm sorry. Continuing with Becca, looks like we're going to get a round 3 with Chrissy Teigen. Rumour is that it will include eyeshadow, possibly an eyeshadow palette, gloss, and apparently a secret highlighting product. She's done highlighter, she's done the bronzy, glowy highlighter split in strips, she's done the body goop thing. What are you highlighting next? Your ear rolls? Your nipples? Somewhere else maybe? Your toes? Moving on. Told this was going to be a good one. We've now seen the whole of the Natasha Denona Safari palette in army green packaging. It's an all matte palette, and I've got to admit, that's the first Natasha Denona palette I'm actually looking at thinking, well, Beautylish do interest-free payments. And then I slapped myself and I'm like, you are not paying $129 for a bloody eyeshadow palette. Or about 111, 112 quid that works out. That's just bloody ridiculous. That's 2 blood sugars, for goodness sake. From Jeffrey. And a lot of people were saying her last one, the blue palette that she did, what was it called? Was it the Tropic palette? The one that had sort of neutral, and then really pretty sort of like blues and greens and purples across the bottom. That was getting some very mixed reviews. This, however, is all matte, which mattes are more difficult to do than shimmers, but the majority of her palettes, I'm pretty sure, get pretty good feedback for her mattes. It's actually available now. There's swatches on the different skin tones. See, when I saw the swatches, I wanted it even more. Oh, I need a fairy godmother. Moving on. As I'm sure you're aware, Revolution have brought out Conceal and Define foundations. Yes, I have done a review on this. No, I'm not wearing it today. They initially launched with 24 shades. They are doubling that amount, so they're going to have 48 shades available, and you can see there some of the undertones. Looks like they're getting some olive undertones in there, so that looks good. And it certainly looks like they're covering the deeper range. I'm actually really impressed with that, particularly for drugstore. So I will keep you updated with that as it goes on. They've also got all their Halloween stuff out, including the A Beautiful Darkness palette. Yes, I have a review on it. All these things I've got to try and remember to link in the blooming description box below. Love that, absolutely love that palette. They've also got a lighter one called Under Your Spell, which is all shimmer, and it's very pretty. But it's not really my aesthetic, is it? Really. I want this. I want this just for decoration. This is a highlighter with a warning, may stain clothes and skin. But it's in a skull-shaped bottle and it's called Blood of Your Enemies. Blood of My Enemies. I need hubby to put me a little shelf just here so I can sit it on there. Just so it can glare out at you all day. I've probably just been doing this with the picture right in front of my hand, haven't I? Hopefully I remember and I actually move it down a little bit. But, yeah, like the look of that. They've also got some other shades with it. They've got, that one is Blood of My Enemies. They've also got Paranormal, which looks to be like a goldy, greeny shade. They've got Envy, which looks to be a white, possibly, that looks lovely actually. And then Lover's Wrath. Oh, I like the look of that one as well. That's got like a purpley pink shift to it. I don't really use liquid highlights very much. I've got their Unicorn Elixir here, which, to be honest, I tend to mix in with really, really matte foundations. Just put a couple of drops in just to make a foundation a little bit more dewy. So, but I maybe, baby, I do like the look of those, and they're only £5 as well. So, oh Lord, it's so tempting. They've also teamed up with Now That's What I Call Music to produce Now That's What I Call Makeup in 80s, 90s, and 2000s. As you can see, the outsides all look pretty different. Then you see the insides. There's the 80s, looking like a graphic equalizer. Very nice, nice and colourful. Not too many neutral shades in there, I'm pleased to see. There's a whole row of blue, a whole row of purple, a row of green, some teals, a red, some more burgundy colours. That's at some point that's going to be a hell yeah. 90s is more pinky purples, but there are more browns in that one. So that's a maybe, baby. And then the 2000s is your basic neutral palette with your yellows and your oranges and your warm reds and stuff, and browns. So that for me is a whoa, whoa, whoa. No. So there we go. Yes, maybe, no. They don't say anything about those being limited edition, so I shall no doubt pick some of those up. Hopefully they might go into the sale in January and I can pick up 2 of them. Sugar Pill are bringing out 2 Halloween lipstick shades. Witchy Black Matte with a supernatural blend of orange and green sparkles, and Sparkling Metallic Copper Pumpkin Spices Flamboyant Cousin. Cinnamon flavour and scented to make you feel all kinds of tingly. $18 each, limited edition, vegan, cruelty free. Really hope, because I'm pretty sure Beauty Bay have got Sugar Pill, so I really hope they get those colours, because I kind of want them both. Yeah. Hell yeah, if I can get hold of them. We know that Rihanna has brought out the glistening white gloss and the glistening white version of Trophy Wife, or the silver version. But it looks like we're getting 3 more of her matte liquid lipstick shades. So it looks like we're getting a chocolate brown, a caramelly cafe latte brown, and a red toned russety brown. Chocolate brown neutral undertones, neutral nude with pumpkin beige undertones, natural rose nude with pink mauve undertones. Apparently is how they describe it. I prefer my descriptions personally. That's an anonymous photo that was sent in to Makeup Hunter News. So I don't know when that is launching, but it's coming soon. Now, I've got to be honest, I haven't got her red one. I might pick up that one in the middle, which they describe as pumpkin beige undertones. But I do worry that it'll make make my teeth look yellow. It's one of those sort of shades that you've got to be careful of. Zoeva have got a new palette out. I've actually got a new collection out. I love the look of that eyeshadow palette though. Again, I think it's that green that's calling me. I'm proper into my greens right now, aren't I? This is the new women of the 20s. They express themselves like never before, packed with bold, empowering shades. The premiere collection celebrates the roaring 20s spirit and gives today's multifaceted women a way to express themselves when words alone are not enough. Okay then. They do realise we're only like just over a year away from it being the 20s again, right? Missed a trick there. Wait 18 months and do it as the centennial of the 20s. Oh, I've got a wiggle, folks. Sorry, hang on. Oh, I can feel my back spasming and starting to lock up. Sorry about that. Right, so this includes eyeshadow palette, blush palette, lip crayons. So, yeah, and looks like we've got a brush set there as well. Luxe Powder Fusion, Petite Face Finish, Luxe Classic Shader, and Luxe Crease. Available on the 24th of September on their website. Hopefully coming to Beauty Bay not long afterwards. That's a maybe, baby, from me. I love the look of it, but if I cover up that green, palette doesn't call me as much. So that it's a maybe baby verging on a whoa, whoa. No, I beg your pardon, throat. Did you have to enjoy that? Little whimper from my voice box. That's lovely. I'm nearly done now, folks. Not much longer to go. Smashbox have got 3 new cover shot palettes. Left to right minimalist, which I'm guessing is the boring nudes. Major metals, which is nice, but there's no mattes in there, so most people would not want to use that. And prism, which is greys and purples, and again, it doesn't look like there are any matte shades in there. Okay, minimalist and major metals. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No. Prism, maybe, baby. Because I have got a couple of the cover shot palettes. I've got the metallic eye palette. Love this packaging, which looks like that and is all shimmers. And I had to buy this one twice off of Depop because the first one got lost in the post and didn't turn up. This also has the moving image on the packaging. And this is the drawn in decked out. And this one looks like that, as you can see. This one I do really like. I've used this one quite a bit. That shade was a bit smushed like that when I bought it. So, yeah. I haven't done tutorials with those yet, but I will do soon. But I do think that prism palette would make a nice accompaniment to the purple one that I've just shown you. Yeah. Right, Viseart have got their new Libertine palette out on Beautylish. It's a 9 panner for 49 quid. A little bit heavy for me price wise, but gotta be honest, really liking the look of that. Again, it's one of the few Viseart palettes that are actually making me think, Beautylish do instalments? And then slapping myself going, you are not spending nearly 50 quid on 9 shadows, don't be ridiculous, woman. Apparently that's 9 unconventional shades in Viseart's proprietary powder formula that is beloved by makeup artists everywhere. Alrighty then. Right, more my price range. Barry M. Gloss Like a Boss. Our Gloss Me Up lip kits are available in 3 gorgeous shades and come with a highly pigmented gloss plus matching lip liner. And I really like the look of that. That corally orange one at the bottom looks to be called Gossip, which, yeah, I want that one. The pinky one in the middle is a Femme, and the pinky peachy, almost like a light coral at the top, is Baby. And nobody puts Baby in the corner. Those are £7 each, so I can see me picking up at least one of those to try and just find out how pigmented the gloss is, because I have got this orange gloss, which is a Revolution one in shade Coral, but it is your typical lip gloss in that it's not that pigmented, and once it's on my lips you can't really tell that it's coral. So I might give that Berry M one a go, because if it's not very pigmented, if it is like the Revolution one, I could probably use the lip pencil to go over my lips first and then stick the gloss on top to deepen the colour. So hell yeah. Barry M are also bringing out an all-night long liquid foundation with anti-oxidizing fruit extracts and vitamin E to hydrate. $7.99 and vegan. Looks like they've actually not got a bad range there. They've got a very, very white one. Three sort of fair to pale, 4 sort of medium-ish, 4 or 5 sort of medium deep, and 2 heading towards deep. But, you know, it's a fair spread. They may not go super light and they may not go super dark and they may not have all the undertones covered as yet. But in terms of the spread of colour, there's 7 in the light to medium, and the 7 in the medium to deep, plus the white one. So that's actually a pretty fair spread. I have got a Barry M foundation which I quite like, but it isn't as long wearing as it's okay for like a day at work, etc. But it wouldn't do you all day at a conference or anything like that. And I tend to use it more as a day foundation rather than if I'm going out in the evening and I want heavier coverage. But I'm actually very, very interested in that. The lightest of the light shades looks neutral toned, I think. I don't think it's yellow based, because I'm neutral verging on cool. So that's a hell yeah. And at some point there will be a review on my channel for it. Charlotte Tilbury, I go from expensive to cheap to expensive again, have you noticed? Is coming out with a new eyeshadow palette with sparkly deep burgundy packaging called Stars in Your Eyes, with 12 eyeshadows. I believe that's actually available now. It's split into sort of like 4 sets again: Love Eyes, Power Eyes, Happy Eyes, and I can't read that last one. No, can't read it the way they've shadowing that's appearing on it. Gotta be honest, that's a pretty Caucasian palette, isn't it? Whoa, whoa. No. And that, my friends, I am sure you will be delighted to hear, is the end of this week's episode of Hell Yeah, or Whoa, whoa, whoa. No. I have got a numb bum and I need to go and get myself a coffee and a painkiller, or two, or three, and open my post and have a look at the new exciting makeup I can play with. So, I hope you have enjoyed your weekly me time, relaxed time, listening to me waffle on about new makeup and giving you my 100% honest thoughts on whether I want them or whether I don't. If you liked it, it would be awesome if you could hit that like button for me, comment, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell, and when you hit the bell, don't forget to choose all notifications, not just some, so you get told every time I upload another film. Talking of the film, I've got much shorter ones if you wanted a quick one to watch, or if you wanted to see my thoughts on previous makeup releases, then why not have a look at the playlist and play a few more of these. All that remains for me to say is you'll stay fabulous, and I'll see you again next time. I've now got the back-breaking work of editing all of these photos into this, so I really would appreciate a thumbs up if you could, just to show that you appreciate my hard work. Alright, you take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.